This video is for Dieter, and his question after clarification was, how can I use an external controller to be able to control only the chord tracks? And in chord tracks, we're referring to chord tracks 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, as you can see in the center of the screen. So the grand piano, the da, the pop, the ah, the strings, etc. And so this fader right here, he's looking to be controlled with an external fader. So let me first show you that it can be done, but there's one caveat that we have to talk about. So let me give you an example. So here I'm going to start a style, and then you'll see as I raise or lower the chord track, I can pull up and down those 5 chord tracks, and that doesn't affect the volume of the drums, the groove track, or the bass. See that? Now I'm going to do the same thing with my external control. Go over here, I'm going to pull this down. So you'll see that I can control those 5 chord tracks without being able to affect the live drums, the groove, or the bass, which is different than I've done in my previous video. So what you have to remember here, though, is it is unaffected if you use a live guitar. So I'm unaware of any way to send expression or volume from an external device to control a live guitar at this time. So as long as your style doesn't have a live guitar in it, it will work identical to the chord track slider on the SD90. If it does have a live guitar in it, then the guitar will not be affected by the external controller. So that's something you have to keep in mind. So what I did in order to make that work is on my controller, I have the fader set to send CC11, and I picked channel 14 just because 14 I know wasn't used. And then what I did was I went over into my menu and I went to MIDI, arrange your keyboard, RX, and you'll see for the 5 chord tracks at the top here, I've set them to channel 14. Sorry if that's not clear, but you can see it in the bottom screen. I set that to channel 14. So now that means that anything that, if I transmit on channel 14, that MIDI message will be received on those 5 chord tracks. And then what I had to do was go into filter, and I went through each one of these. So there's drum 1, drum 2, drum 3, and for chord track 1, I disabled filtering expression or enabled expression. Chord track 2, chord track 3, chord track 4, and chord track 5. And everything else I have expression turned off, so it will not be affected by anything else. So again, if you play this, go to style, pull this chord track down here, the slider leaves the bass and the drums, go over here to this slider. Now, the reason that you still hear a guitar is because I suspect there's a live guitar on this particular style. So let's go look. And there is. As you can see there is a live guitar. It's a perfect example of what I was indicating with regard to it not being affected by the live guitar. So if I take that out, now you'll see chord track on the SD90, that slider, and then this one. They behave in exactly the same way. So I hope that helps.